because you did it very well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I still get pretty nervous doing it. I think as a bass player, you don't want to screw with the rhythm at all. And so a lot of times, I'll be playing and I'm trying so desperately to play on the beat and not screw up the bass while I'm singing that it ends up impacting my singing, where I end up singing really in a really square kind of way, like really on the beat and not the way I would sing if I wasn't playing the bass, if I was just walking down the street or something.
Right.
Anyway, it just sort of took a lot of practice to where it sort of becomes, I don't know, I feel like as a guitar player or another instrumentalist, you get a little bit more leeway, I think, and you also are in a position more often to be singing in general. For me, I just had to practice with a metronome to the point where it became like second nature. So what I was doing on the bass, I wasn't thinking about at all. It was just like this reflexive thing that was happening. And then, I don't know, there's just so many things to think about. I think the key is to not think.
Yes, I've developed a not thinking technique.
It's funny because there's two kinds of not thinking, right? There's like when your parents would say, "You don't think." I didn't think. Well, you don't think. And then there's like the kind of not thinking where you're just playing a song, singing it.
And there's of course the "What were you thinking?"
Well,
That's the one I suffer from mostly.
well, Joel, it's really interesting because Paul and Joel kind of remind me of each other a little bit because they both spent a lot of time in New York City, and they're both, Joel, I mean, we don't know each other very well, but you seem like a disciplined musician. Like, you've got... I'm so glad.
See, I'm a lot less disciplined than why do you think I'm a bass player? No, I started my musical career very young, 4th, 5th, 6th grade, playing the Suzuki method violin, which we all did back in the day. That was the popular thing to do. So, but first day of 7th grade, junior high school up in New York, there was orchestra. So the orchestra, and it's about 35, 40 kids in the orchestra, and the teacher gets up in front and he says, "Okay, so who's going to play violin?" And of course, everybody's hand went up because in 4th and 5th grade, all we did was the Suzuki violin thing. And he looked at me and he said, "This would be a very sad orchestra if only violins were filling people's seats. And there are so many other wonderful instruments in the orchestra, like the bass." And I looked over and something went click, and my hand went up, and I said, "Yep, I'm there." So from that moment on, I've been playing the bass.
Of course, the bass is the rhythmical foundation of most bands that we know, but it's also the harmonic foundation of the band. So when singing and playing bass is therefore a very hard thing because you're already covering two of the basses for the rest of the band. Since the bass has the largest overtone scaling, since it goes the lowest, everything harmonically is based on that note that the bass player plays. So if he just hits it just a little bit off, the whole band sounds bad. This is what makes this. I think this is one of the factors that makes playing bass and singing at the same time so incredibly hard. So that was a really good job. I was really impressed because that really is. We make Joel sing too, but then we have to modify the bass lines. When Joel has to sing a harmony, the bass really steps back, and sometimes even stops altogether. It's like the guitar already.
I have to greatly simplify what I'm playing when I'm singing. Yeah, and sometimes you just lay out. You try to figure out what's more important at this moment. But it's funny because a friend of mine sent me an article recently, and there was a study done by a university in Canada, and they found that the bass was the most important instrument of a band.
I've been saying that for years.
And fake news. And immediately the banjo players of America put out a release that said this is completely fake news. But he was sending it to me as like props, and I started reading it, and basically what the article said was that our brains, they found out that our brains lock onto the low notes and can discern bad notes in the lower registers better than in the highest registers, which playing with, some of the guys in our group, I noticed that when I make a mistake, it's like the loudest thing, it's like an earthquake, and like, other people play notes, it's just like, you don't even hear it,
So that you have the luxury of having 4 or 5 other guys on stage with you. When you're playing in a trio situation, where the bass is basically acting as the rhythm giver, the harmonic giver, and moving your ears along to follow the song, there's very, very little room for error. So it's very difficult when there's only a guitar, a banjo, and a bass. The sound is much more concentrated, so that the bass line is.
Well, that's basically always exposed.
Yeah.
Whatever you do is going to be right out there, like a called the bloody thunder.
and it goes back to that old Miles Davis saying, where if you're going to hit a bad note, just hit it loud.
Hit it loud. Look like you meant to do it.
And then there's the old the Jimmy Page, which is like you do anything 3 times in a row, and it's
not a wrong note.
So, do you guys have any questions for us about